Well, I just cut out the 2 little braces for the side porch, and I'm going to have to add a little bit of glue to this one shingle because it keeps on coming off here. So, and while you weren't paying attention, I glued the sign on the frame for the top. Make sure that that's flush with the back. Okay, so, and here's the sign right here, Jack's. Very, very delicate. Extremely delicate. I'd say that's like 1/64 of an inch. So that is going to be going on there last. I'm going to have to see if I can brace it in the back just to keep something in the back so I could keep it steady so I don't break it off. So let me get a little bit of glue over here. And I'm going to glue it onto the roof on the edges. Make sure that's the back. Okay, right there. And then we'll glue the whole thing to the side of the building. But I'm going to have to cut off some of the battens. I'll make sure I got a nice wide piece of glue there and a piece of glue here. And double check to make sure which side's the back. That's the back right there. Alright, we'll set that off to the side. I'm going to have to cut out an awning. And what the fun part's going to be, okay, now I'm going to have to paint a little bit of silver, paint these a silver on both sides because I put a primer on it. But these are the lamp posts. Now this plywood, and it's 3-ply plywood right there. And I got to drill a hole down through the center of it, so I'm going to have to hold it in between to keep that tight where I drill my hole with the pin vise. I'm going to use this small pin vise right here. That's what I use for all the lamps. And this one has a straight pipe on it, so it'll just hang straight down from there. But I'll cut these out. And that goes on the front, and it looks like we'll have to maybe trim some of the battens on that also. I took a square on the side of the building and marked the battens where I wanted to put the roof in, and then cut out with scissors, these little cuticle scissors, for the little overhang that's going to go over right here. So we'll just glue that in place now. I just finished drilling a hole into this lamp post right here, and I use this clamp. It's a soldering clamp because this is plywood, and from the instructions from Bar Mills, it said it would separate whenever you drilled into it, but I didn't have any problem with it, so I'm going to bring it down here and show you how I did it. Let me see if I can get this again, like that. Turned it around this way. And tried to hit it at close to the center as I could. There we go. Alright, so we got that done. So that wasn't too bad. And last night I also glued this sign on here onto the back. I think this is like 1/64. It's very, very thin. So I'm going to have to drill some holes up here to put that sign in there. So I'm just going to mark it, bring it over here, and just mark where these posts are going to go. I'll set it back here. And And hopefully this is going to be thick enough. And I might have to make these holes just a little bit bigger, because this is a little bit, I think this wood is a little bit thicker than the conduit. And I'm just using this one to mark it to get it started. And this one's a little bit thicker. And this is going through the cardboard and probably the rafter tails, because it was solid all the way back through. But before I put the sign on here, I'm going to have to weather this. I'm going to hit this with titanium white, and I'll show you some of the other things that I did. I took the piece of, gave a brass wire, and I cut it down and put the awning in, and then put this thing on here. And I touched up some of the detail parts over here. Let's get a better view of it. I added some red and a little bit more silver to it. Did the pallets, did the hand cart right here. The wheels turn. This one's a little bit tighter, but it still turns. Touched up this gas pump right here. I still have to go over there with black on where the hose is. Did the workbench right here. I think that looks pretty cool. And I have some photos of it. I'll take some more photos of it. Do these individually. And then I did the fence right there. Now, if you want to see how I did the fence, you're going to have to go on to Rumble Premium, because that is on the Rumble Premium. I have the titanium white over here. I'm going to dry brush it onto the roof here. Oop, some of these shingles are coming off. I might have to glue this on here a little bit. Do a little bit on this side here. I'm going to have to go this way on it. I'm going to have to do some darker inside here. And I'm going to put some on the concrete also, just to lighten it up a little bit. And we'll do it on the edges, because you're not going to see underneath the building. A little bit too heavy right there. That ought to do it. And most of this is covered up with the building and the trash on the side, so like over here on this corner, all that trash right there is up against the fence, and that's how the building sits on there, and like that. So we're good to go with that right there. Well, I just destroyed my paintbrush. We're going to take some charcoal, and I'm going to dry brush it onto the sides of the tar paper. We'll see how this comes out on there. I wish I had a little bit wider brush to cover more area at one time. I'm going to have to get some more brushes. As you can see what that does right there. Did a little bit on the awning too. up on the top. Okay, that gives me the look that I want on there. It just darkens it up just a little bit. And then with the white up on top of there. And I was going to dry brush some white on the sign also, so some of the white, so I forgot about that. I used oyster white on this sign. Well, I did the final touches and added some people to the scene and set it up on the layout and took some pictures that you'll be able to see right here. The next kit coming up is Papalou's Cigar Shop. Like I said, the Insta-Fence part, that's going to be on Rumble Premium. I just have to edit the video. I got about 40 minutes of content squeezed down, and we'll be putting that up on Rumble Premium pretty soon to show you how it's done, along with a lot of other premium content. So here's a bunch of photos that I took on the layout right next to Merchants Row, making it a part of Merchants Row alongside of Simpson Creek.